Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm sharing my luxury beauty starter kit. I've seen a few versions of this video floating around and I thought it would be a lot of fun to attempt my own. So I set out with a budget in mind of around $500. Not because anybody should drop $500 on luxury beauty right now, but because luxury products tend to be more expensive, and unless you are purposely choosing cheaper items, I think you will struggle to achieve a full face for far less than $500. That's what I had in mind, was the full face. So I chose one item from each category, and these would be the products that I recommend above anything else. So if you are new to luxury and you're sort of dipping your toe in the pool, this is a great list to begin with, take a look at. And if you are a longtime luxury lover, this would be sort of my extremely condensed luxury favorites. I happen to end up with a perfect round number of 10 items. I'm wearing everything today on my face, and I went with items that I could see myself using every single day. When I look at my makeup collection, some of my favorite luxury pieces are those special, limited edition items that you only pull out every once in a while or if it's a special occasion. But I wanted to make sure that this was a very practical starter kit, so everything can be used every single day. I feel like I must preempt any potential criticism for this first item I'm going to talk about. I know I talk about it a lot. It's because I really love it. It is the CC cream from Chanel, featured in probably 50% of my videos here on YouTube. No, I don't think it's that high. I try not to talk about the same products all the time. I don't want things to get really stale for you or for myself, but this is just one of those products that I never want to go without. I would recommend this to absolutely anyone, anybody and everybody. It's really great. I like to use this as a primer. That's how I applied it today. I just like to take a couple spots, blend it out underneath my foundation. If I'm experiencing redness, breakouts, post-blemish marks, it helps to even out my complexion before I go in with foundation. It truly is a great CC cream. It's color correcting. A lot of people like to use this as a tinted moisturizer on some days. I'll just dab a little bit of this on my skin, blend it out, and then I get out the door. So it's very versatile in that way, which is another reason why I think it's just a great product to have. It has SPF 50 moringa plum extract, which is full of vitamin C. It has hyaluronic acid. So it's got great coverage. It has skincare benefits. It has sun protection. It's just this perfect skincare makeup hybrid product. Whether you like to use it as a primer or not, or your tinted moisturizer, everybody I know raves about this. I'm sure there are some people who don't like it, of course. But for the most part, I think this is one of those beauty products that we all sort of agree on. Like, yes, it's pretty wonderful. So if I were starting my luxury kit, this just would have to be in it. For the purposes of today's video, I'm treating the CC cream like my primer. So the one foundation I picked out was Dior Air Flash. Again, this should come as no surprise for any of you who watch a lot of my videos. I love this foundation. It always makes a top 10 list, a top 5 list. If I had to choose one foundation that would be my go-to foundation for the rest of my life, I would choose Air Flash. It doesn't really matter what new launches come out. This just always remains in the #1 spot. It's consistently excellent, and it's very versatile as well. It's not too matte, it's not too luminous, it's sort of right there in the middle. It goes on very thin, but you can build up the coverage. So it works in any scenario for any occasion. The way I like to apply Air Flash is to give the bottle a shake. Of course, it's like a spray paint can. And then I'll apply a very thin layer all over my face, blend everywhere I need, down my neck. But then I'll build it up in areas where I want a little bit more coverage. So even on days that I want a full face of makeup, I'm not applying a ton of this foundation all over. I really just go in specific areas, and it just makes the application so effortless, and it makes it look seamless and beautiful every single time. When I'm really taking my time, if it's a special occasion, my wedding day for example, I'll take a liquid illuminator, a drop of a beauty oil, mix it on the back of my hand, dip my brush in the cocktail, and then I spray the brush with the foundation, buff it all over, and your skin just glows. It is so beautiful. It's long wearing, it photographs beautifully. This is one of the old bottles, so this is 311. which now translates, I believe, to 3.5N. Foundation is very personal, so if you haven't tried this already, I highly recommend it. But if you have tried Air Flash and it's just not your favorite, there are plenty of other great luxury foundations around this price point. I believe this is $62, which is sort of average for a luxury foundation. It's not crazy expensive, it's not going to break the bank. It's also not incredibly cheap either, but these bottles last me a very long time, months and months. For concealer, I chose a new favorite. This is the Pat McGrath Labs concealer. I use the shade L3. I believe this is the least expensive thing on my list, but it is by far the best value. You only need to use a teeny tiny little bit. The mistake a lot of people will make with this concealer is accidentally using too much. I've been there. But as long as you apply the right amount of this concealer, it's going to look so smooth. It's not too dry, it's not too hydrating. I know that's sort of a tricky balance for a lot of people, myself included. It doesn't crease, and it just looks gorgeous. As far as luxury concealers go, I don't think it gets much better. Now, if you prefer less coverage, you don't really have dark circles or anything that you need to conceal per se, I would maybe go with the Armani Luminous Silk. It's a few dollars more expensive, but another great concealer. It's nice and thin, lightweight, doesn't crease, but you won't get as much coverage. If you like something incredibly matte, I would maybe go with the YSL All Hours, around the same price point. And then the Clé de Peau Concealing Pen. It's going to be more expensive, but I still want to say it's maybe $45. It's not as expensive as their stick, it's more expensive than this, but it's nice and radiant. It's very pretty as well. I prefer the Pat McGrath Labs. I just love coverage. I like brightness under my eye. This does everything that I want it to do. It checks all of the boxes. Now this next product is very similar. It's a new favorite, but once I brought this into my collection, I almost forgot about everything else. It's just a game changer. And to be fair, powder is also a bit tricky and everybody has their preferences. Some people prefer compact, some people like a loose powder. I like both. Generally, I will use a loose powder and I don't like to touch up during the day. But I've been using this compact and I haven't really looked back. This is the brand new YSL Touche Éclat 3D All Over Glow Compact. It is so beautiful. It's unfair, it's unjust to call this a powder compact because it feels so smooth and creamy, and when you apply it to the skin, it does not look like you are wearing powder. It looks like your face is set, but you have a beautiful reflective glow. You're slightly luminous, but you're not a disco ball. It's not like a highlighter. If you're familiar with the Lancome Absolute loose powder or the Giorgio Armani Microfill loose powder, the pink version is my favorite. Even the Luminously Beige from Chanel, but this is so much better than that. It's just such a perfect texture and it looks so dreamy on the skin. It looks airbrushed and just flawless, poreless, beautiful. It comes in one shade, so it's a universal. If you are medium to deep, this may show up a little bit lighter and brighter on you. If you're light to medium, you can dust this all over and you won't have to worry. If you're incredibly fair, you could probably put this over your bronzer and that would be it. I think this would probably be too dark for some people, unfortunately. If they had to choose one universal shade though, I will say I think they did a pretty good job nailing something that is going to work for the majority of people. It's a great price point. It's not limited edition. I just cannot say enough great things about this powder. Stunning. When I think of the best luxury bronzers, there's only one brand that comes to mind, Guerlain. So if I were starting a luxury makeup collection and I was choosing a bronzer, I think the best direction would be to pick up a Guerlain bronzer. There's just no other bronzer in my current collection or that I can think of that would be better. I think it's a decent price point. They're a little bit pricey. This is the Terracotta Light. I have the shade 04 Deep Golden. It's such a beautiful piece, but it's also sort of iconic. So if you're a luxury makeup collector or somebody who really appreciates those classic iconic pieces, the Guerlain bronzer. I mean, you just have to do it. It's so beautiful and they have so many different shades. So if you're looking at this and thinking this won't work for me, they have something for you. They have lighter shades, they have deeper shades, they have some really dark bronzers, the spectrum, and they're all so beautiful. They do have a little bit of a Guerlain fragrance, so in case you are sensitive to that, but they're stunning. They look natural. They're pretty warm. Some people don't like a warm bronzer, but they really do mimic the sun. I mean, whenever I'm wearing this bronzer, I feel like, woo, I have a tan, like bronze goddess makeup. It is just so gorgeous. I love having one of these in my collection. I had used up the 03, and I knew as soon as I used it up, okay, it's time for me to replace this because it's just one of my favorite bronzers. I always like to have a Guerlain bronzer in my collection. With the budget in mind of around $500, I picked out Dior's Backstage Rosy Glow Blush. This is one of the best blushes, and it is also, like the Guerlain bronzer, sort of iconic. It's a classic piece, even though they put it in new packaging, but it's a relatively decent price point. I want to say it was maybe $37. So this is not my favorite luxury blush, but it would be one of my favorites, and it fits nicely into our budget. This works with the moisture level in your skin to create a custom rosy glow. It works like the lip glow. I think it is so pretty. It's perfect for spring, summer, that bright, happy, poppy cheek. When it came down to choosing the perfect highlighter or best illuminating product, again, I wanted to go with something that was multi-use. So I went ahead and picked out my Chanel Le Beige Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid. Here I have Pearly Glow, but you could go with the Le Blanc Rosy Light Drops if you're more fair, or you just like that ethereal, sort of iridescent glowy makeup, or you could do Sun-Kissed if you prefer Bronze Goddess, or you have a medium, deeper skin tone. Any of the three shades, they're all equally stunning. I really like a liquid illuminator. The other product that I had in mind was the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Glow Wand. I want a cream. I want something that I can put on my shoulders, put on my neck, chest, décolleté, that I can mix into my foundation. You know, a powder can only be worn basically on top of your makeup. You can't really mix it into anything, whereas a cream or liquid, you can kind of play around with it and customize. So I like the idea of a product like that. It tends to be more natural. If I had a third choice, my second runner-up would be the Little Guerlain stick. That's it for the face. I have two products here for eyes. The first is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen. I love this liquid eyeliner. I think it is one of the best products from Tom Ford. It's actually a pretty great value for Tom Ford, which is rare. And it's just my go-to. If I had to choose one liquid eyeliner, I would go with the Tom Ford because it's double-sided. There are two cartridges. So even though it retails for, I want to say $62 maybe, it comes out to $30 an eyeliner, which is right on par with every other luxury brand. But this one eyeliner pen has the brush, and then you also have the sponge. So you can create a very thin line, you can create a more dramatic, thick cat eye. You can do so many things with this. It feels like it's never ending. I've been using this for months and months and months. It's not even starting to appear as if it may be drying up in the future. Now, if you're not a liquid eyeliner person, I would say maybe the Chanel waterproof retractable eyeliners. I have a ton of those, love them. What else? Dior has some nice eyeliners, but really I would say if you're looking for a retractable, the Chanel. For liquid, it's Tom Ford or bust. I think my eyeshadow palette is going to surprise some people, but to me it was really obvious. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette. This is their 12-pan eyeshadow palette. So beautiful. You have the daytime look, which is basically what I have on my eyes today. I went in with this third kind of mauve-y matte eyeshadow in the crease. I did this second eyeshadow on the lid. I deepened it up with this brown right here, but it was very basic. And that's why I love this. It's basic, but you can achieve so many different looks. I mean, you have your day, desk, date, dream, whatever that means. But there's mattes. You have some metallic kind of satiny finishes. You can achieve really light looks, you can go smoky and dramatic. You do have some pops of color with the berry tones down here. I know this color story doesn't work for everybody. I've reviewed this palette and that was kind of the feedback I received. Some people really liked it. Some people don't really love these tones. They do lean very warm. I don't think there is a single time I've used this palette where I've had fallout. I mean, the quality is just incredible. All you have to do is just scan the Charlotte Tilbury Instagram page and you will get tons of inspiration, and just about all of those looks can be created using this palette. I think this was the best launch that they've come out with. So beautiful. I love this, you know, the rose gold. It's pretty basic Charlotte Tilbury packaging. Everything about it is just luxury, beautiful, quality. And for the price, you just cannot beat it. There is no other eyeshadow palette that I could put in front of this one. Last but certainly not least, I have a single lippy. And you can only imagine how difficult it would be to choose one luxury lipstick or one luxury lip product. There just wasn't enough room, and we're on a budget here, people, so I chose one. And I think people will be surprised by my choice, but I stand by it. It's this Gucci lipstick, Blaze of Noon. This is the satin finish. It is the perfect creamy nude. I have it on my lips today. It's beautiful. This has become one of my favorite lipsticks. The exterior packaging is this weighted gold with this beautiful embossed design. I love this tube. This to me is just classic luxury. It's so beautiful. And the color is perfect. If I could create a pinky nude, this would have been it. It's not too pink, it's not too nude, it's not too light, it's not too dark. It's a nice kind of neutral, medium intensity rosewood, similar to a Pillow Talk. Sephora has their spring sale coming up very soon, and I know they carry Gucci lipsticks, so I feel like it would be wasteful to purchase the same exact shade, as tempted as I am, because I know I'm going to go through this pretty soon. But I will probably end up getting at least one, maybe two new Gucci lipsticks. I love everything about them. The formula, the packaging, they're incredible. I love everything here. If I had to get rid of most of my collection, I would be really happy with these 10 items. You'll notice that I didn't list a mascara and I didn't list a brow product. I think those are areas where you don't necessarily need to spend a lot of money. I've used luxury eyebrow products and I don't think they're that much better than my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I kind of always pick up a Brow Wiz whenever they go on sale, and that's not an area where you have to spend a lot of money. At least if you're doing a pretty natural brow, if you just fill them in a little bit with a pencil. If you're doing a whole pomade, powder, stencil, highlight, concealer, sketched out situation, you know, if you like that type of brow, then you're going to want to invest in more brow products. I love a great luxury mascara. Who doesn't? But it isn't the first place I would begin. I think you can find a really good mascara from the drugstore. You can find great mascaras in more of a medium tier. You don't have to spend a ton of money. There are great mascaras that are inexpensive. So if I'm going for those products that you're really going to get a great bang for your buck luxury-wise, you know, products that are multi-use, products that have skincare benefits that are just above and beyond. Top 3 items I would begin with: a lipstick, because you're going to keep it in your purse, keep it in your clutch, take it out, reapply. You want something fabulous. A great compact, you know, a little Chanel Le Beige compact or the little YSL compact, something, again, very glam that you can take with you. You can use it at home, but you can also take it on the road. And then I might do a really good foundation. That would be my 3rd item. There's just something really amazing about finding that perfect luxury foundation that makes your skin look flawless. You feel great whenever you're wearing it. It's always really nice to have. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I want to hear your luxury starter kit, so drop me a comment. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything that I have today on my face, down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.